No condom though. No condom though.
You know what I mean? But then speaking of this, do you know how excited I was when How High came out? Do you know how that's one of those movies
How
I
High
watch
is like a fucking
every fucking
cult classic.
year. Like I know I know like the words to like you Jimmy the suit cricket wearing you Jimmy the cricket suit wearing ass motherfucker, little fucking Sammy Davis with the fade having ass motherfucker, get him like.
Yeah,
I can quote parts of that movie verbatim. Like, that shit is so funny. And for years, they kept talking about, especially Meth and Red, like, yo, it's happening. They're waiting to get the clearance from...
They wanted it.
Was it Universal Pictures or whatever?
I think it was Universal.
And now they're finally... The clearance is here. You're getting Lil Yachty.
Yeah.
A kid who don't even know, like, Tupac music. A kid, like, man... Lil Yachty's, like, one of those motherfuckers. Like, he probably smoke weed and, like, go fucking, like, kiss a tree or some shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like... I don't like get Lil Yachty's ass the fuck out of here as well.
Even like the main thing to me was like there was no mention of Method Man or Redman involved in the film. Now that's like kind of like it's gonna be like a Belly too.
I don't know. The way I see it, if Snoop Dogg can do Mac and Devin go to high school at like 45 years old, then Meth and Red can pull another year off in fucking college. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Van Wilder. You know what I mean? Come on. Nah.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of here. That's like. Yeah. With that being said.
Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill and what is it? 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
They're like high school or college.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like. Get How High the fuck out of here. Like, Lil Yacht, like, I try not to even hate on, like, rappers I don't like. You know what I mean?
But for this?
And I fuck with some new school shit. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, like, revered with it. But, like, you know, Lil Yachty I could just never get into. You know, that Minnesota song was so whack.
Oh, he's so whack, yeah.
That, like, you know, and I even tried to peep a couple other things, and I'm like, man, this dude is just so whack. Like,
see, like, when, like, yeah, even these new guys, like, I'm not hating. I went and actually checked out the music.
I fuck with Lil Baby and Gunna. Peep Drip Too Hard. I'll play it in between the next show. Yo, it's...
Okay, so, like, but, like, yeah, I'm saying, like, I don't...
Like, I can fuck with shit.
I usually give people, like, I see other people hating online.
Yeah.
But I usually give an honest, like a listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lil Yachty, get him the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
like especially like fucking How High, and they said he doesn't even smoke.
That's what I mean. Like he's not a pothead. Like
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I don't respect if they went and got Wiz Khalifa or something. You know what I mean?
The comments were filled with like the link that I seen when I seen it. The comments were filled with like, why isn't Wiz doing this?
Why?
Wiz should be like...
I don't even think Wiz has that funny of a personality. Like Meth and Red, like they work so well together. But like, the fuck is Lil Yachty doing? Like, who are you gonna like?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know who Lil Yachty has that kind of a chemistry with. Who could be the other person? Like, you can't just go cast two new school rappers and expect it to be good. Like, it's just gonna be trash.
Yeah, I don't know who's the other person gonna be, but
like, it's gonna be so trash, yo. So trash.
I can't even think of it being
and I don't
a
even
good
want to hate on I don't even want to hate on dudes doing their thing. But like, as Lil Yachty, I'd have been like, yo, this role ain't for me. But he'll just take any check that comes his way. You know what I mean? He does these commercials. He does anything. Like, he will literally take any check that comes his way. And to me, that's whack. Not even that I thought he had artistic integrity to begin with, but like, you know, certain shit ain't for you, man. Like, if I didn't smoke weed, I don't want to be out here promoting smoking weed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
even like I smoke more weed than a lot of people, but I find like, even we were talking about on another podcast how like weed culture has become kind of like just like stupid. Like, weed culture, and no disrespect in the terminology I'm using, but weed culture has become faggotry. And I don't mean that like it's like what we talked about on prior podcasts. Yeah. You don't have to be gay to be a fag. Like, faggotry is just like... But that's why even like...
It's whackness, you know what I mean? Like, weed culture has become whack.
I used to love smoking weed, but like I don't put it out there like that, like how... I don't know, at one point I used to, like...
No, I used to be proud of being a pothead. Now I don't even hardly smoke pot, and I love it.
Well, I probably smoke more than ever, but it's like I don't put that out there as like my...
Well, you know what? We come from a different generation too, though, where like you almost hide your dirty laundry. That's where like I'm just at a point where I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
But
like,
it's not even my dirty laundry because like I don't feel ashamed about being a pothead.
Like, yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Sometimes I'm gonna speak for myself. My other co-host can chime in if he wants to, but I sniff coke before the podcast once in a while.
I mean, I have too. You can see it.
There we go. We're keeping it a buck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't give a fuck. Like, you know, put shit out there. I don't care. We're drunk every time we do this. It is what it is. It's cool. You know what I mean? Same with smoking weed. It is what it is. But we come from a generation where we feel like we have to hide everything. And that's one thing I think that, like, we deal with a lot. The younger generation doesn't. Maybe it's an age thing. Because when I was young, I didn't hide that shit neither. But, I don't know. Weed culture has just become, like, this thing now. As to where before you were a pothead. And if you're a pothead, you were a part of weed culture and you respected it because it was weed culture. But now it's like become this thing. It's like fucking vapes, you know what I mean? A bunch of people who don't smoke cigarettes are smoking vapes and like blowing out fucking strawberry fucking daiquiri fucking out their mouth and even like stand in the smoking section. Like, get the fuck out of here with these clouds of fucking...
Well, even now I go out and roll up a bunch of joints and like it's not even just like, well, that's like, everybody's out there doing coke. And it's like sometimes like I'm like, man, I'm like, I do it, but it's
a
not
lot
like
of people do coke. I'm just not scared to admit it.
But like I don't do it as much as I don't think about it as like something. I don't even think about it until the conversation comes up.
So you know what?
But with weed, man, I smoke.
You smoke copious amounts of weed.
I hardly ever. I smoke a lot of weed, but I hardly ever smoke with people anymore.
Word.
I smoke by myself most times. No.
See, I used to always smoke with people when I was a pothead, when I was around them, or when I got into poppers, I would smoke in front of them at least.
Yeah.
I never tried to hide being a pothead. I was always high.
Yeah. I'm not trying to hide it. It's just how it is nowadays. Like, a lot of people don't smoke the way I smoke. A lot of people do poppers. A lot of people like... I like joints.
But see, I don't think, like... Poppers could be included in that conversation of like how weed culture's become whack, but I don't even think that is like that's the borderline.
People mixing their weed with tobacco for
it's just a different way of doing that. To me, weed culture became whack when firstly it just became so mainstream, like dispensaries and stuff, and people, you know, the word of it becoming legal, and then like now other people don't feel like they have to be, you know what I mean, like, yo, if you smoked weed and you hid it for 10 years from everyone because you were ashamed of it, but now it's going to become legal, you're just as whack as the people who just jumped on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
You're in that same category of fucking faggotry. You're part of that conversation. Because if you were too scared to live your truth and be a pothead, well, the rest of us were, you know, sitting here living the life, fighting for it. Not even fighting for it, vegging out for it. But you know what I mean? Like, representing the culture.
Well, even you look at me, like one of my most viewed things on my YouTube channel is
weed smoking music.
Weed smoking music, and like that's like. I did that back when like it wasn't as cool as what it is now.
Nah.
Nowadays, like
when in high school, if you smoked weed, you were a druggie. You know what I mean? So I just followed suit, and I'm like, all right, I'll sniff coke too. I'll do E too, because I'm already a druggie. Fuck it, teach me how to druggie.
Actually, I did weed mushrooms. In
yeah, so you know what? I got a lot of homies like you too. Well, not a lot, but I know enough people.
In high school, I only did weed mushrooms.
Like you?
I went to art class on mushrooms once. That was fucking...
Or that like have tried the stuff once or twice and like, nah, it ain't for me. And you know what? It's cool. But the people who... Especially the people who smoke weed, who never went out of the box and never even tried any other drugs, I honestly feel sorry for them. Because you've been living in a cloud. Like, you do downers your whole life and never experience a stimulant. Like, I feel bad for the people out there who have never done a line of coke or popped an e-pill or done MDMA or, you know, I've never done DMT. I would love to, but anything that stimulates you, you know what I mean? The only thing they've ever done is smoked the weed and vegged out and fucking got drunk and passed out. Like, I feel bad for those people, man, because that, like, there's two sides to getting high, you know what I mean? And there's two sides to getting lifted. Yeah. It's not just the downerism, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I to a degree, I don't know. I feel like if you're going to put one foot in the grave, put them both in and just have fun, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean become a fucking addict.